everyone! We are now just a few days away from Valentine's Day. A day when no doubt your social media will be filled with pictures of teddy bears and bunches of flowers. Because apparently a romantic gesture doesn't mean anything unless you plaster it all over social media instead of, keeping it between your partner and yourself. I'm not bitter. Obviously, as a single person, Valentine's Day is very unlikely to result in any gifts or cards, and I'm okay with that. Genuinely, I'm a lot more excited for February the 15th when there's loads of cheap chocolates and cheap bottles of Prosecco in the shops. It's like a single girl's Christmas. Getting older has made me realise that silly little things like being upset about not having somebody to go out with on Valentine's Day are really too trivial to make a big thing about. And as I realised that, I started to realise that actually there are a lot of ways in which being single in your 30s is very, very different to being single in your 20s, in both good and bad ways. I swear this shelf is getting more spacious. The most obvious reason is that when you're in your 20s, especially your early 20s, it's highly likely that a lot of your friends are also single, so it's not just you.
All the single ladies, all the single ladies.
But by the time you reach my age, your mid-30s, lots of your friends will have long-term partners, or even husbands or wives, or babies and children, and you're just still by yourself.
All the single ladies, all the single ladies.
No, you hung up. The thing is, nobody bats an eyelid when you're single in your 20s. It's all just like, oh, go girl, she's independent, she's footloose and fancy free. But by the time you're 35, some people who deserve pain, might start using the word spinster. Suddenly, it can start feeling as though the whole world just believes you must be incredibly depressed and sad and lonely, literally all the time. Oh, there's no one to cuddle. And even if you do happen to wish you were in a relationship with that special guy or girl, you do find yourself having to remind people that actually, I don't just spend my life watching Bridget Jones on repeat and eating Nutella straight out of the jar and crying. At least we don't do that every day. But you will always find, if you're single in your mid-30s, that there are certain people in your life who just can't help but remind you that your time is running out. And that starts playing on your mind and you think, oh, my goodness, I should be married by now. And that can make first date outfit choices a real minefield. Oh, this old thing. Found this outfit lying around in my wardrobe, had it years. Anyway, tell me about yourself. And let's not forget, if you're a single woman of a certain age, there's another thing that people like to remind you of when it comes to time running out. What is that awful racket? Oh, sorry. This is my biological clock ticking. In the end, you're persuaded to go and look on dating sites because you can't be fixed up by any of your friends because all the guys or girls they know are already in relationships. It's just you that's single. So you go on dating sites and you realise the only people you're attracted to are a lot younger than you because the people your age look too old, and that's when you realise that you're old. Besides, when you're in your mid-30s, even if you're trying to do the whole online dating thing, you quite often realise that you're at an age where you no longer know how dating works these days. I mean, if somebody suggested to me, hey, wanna Netflix and chill? I'd be like, oh my god, I've got an amazing show we can binge! And I'm not sure that's what most people have in mind when they use that phrase. And then there's the fact that by the time you're in your mid-30s, you are a lot choosier. People talk about being picky when it comes to dating as though it's a bad habit, but it's not. I've gotten picky because I've had some horrible relationships and dating experiences, and I know exactly at this point in my life what I'm looking for and what I absolutely will not tolerate in any circumstances. That's a good thing, guys. All I'm saying is, being single in your 30s is very different in many ways to being single in your 20s. And not all of those ways are bad. Like I said, I'm comfortable in myself, and when the right person comes along, they are just gonna have to accept me as I am. And when you're single in your mid-30s and onwards, you do realise that actually pining and being sad and longing to be loved, whilst they're normal emotions, it's also completely normal and fine to be single. I am not defined by whether or not there is another person here beside me, 'cause there ain't nothing wrong with being a single Pringle. If you're also single in your 30s and you can think of other ways that it massively differs from in your 20s, feel free to leave them in the comments. And hey, if you want to send me a Valentine's card, that would be super duper. I am available. I'm gonna go. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, feel free to click on my floaty head. Last week's video is gonna be over there, and don't forget, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. In the meantime, have a lovely Valentine's Day, everybody. Bye!